I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Welcome back to WaterparkRanger's Let's Play Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. In the last episode, we got the final spell, Draconiphores, so now we have all the spells. And we also went behind a special Draconiphores tapestry on the 3rd floor. What we're going to do here is collect a lot of things. First off, we've got, inside this chest, Babayaga, the 4th out of the 5 hag cards. That also means we get the 5th card for the hags, Cordelia Misericordia, so we've finished the hag set. Last episode, we also got the Romanian Longhorn card and the Norwegian Ridgeback card from Fred and George, both dragons, for completing the Stink Pellet challenge with Ron. In addition to that, last episode we got the 3rd out of the 5 beast cards, the Imp. That's the one that we found at the top of that sloping door that you can only get going down from the 3rd to the 2nd floor. We just completed the beast card set because we got number 4. The Bowtruckle, and so we also got the 5th one, which was the Gnome. You might remember the Gnome from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets game. Bowtruckles were actually in that game too. You fight them the first time you go to the Forbidden Forest. They're like weird gnome-like things that kind of throw stuff at you and they run around and they're really easy to defeat. And to finish these cards off, over here we have the 4th giant card, Morholt, and that also means we get the final giant card, Hengist of Upper Barncroft, or something like that. Which is weird, because I'm pretty sure there's another wizard in this game called Hengist of Woodcroft, but they're definitely not the same person. I really like this Carpet Retractum statue here. And if you can believe it, what we just did right now, you're just going to have to see this to believe it. It's crazy that it's already over. We got every single Folio Universitas. I guess it shouldn't be that surprising considering there's only 50. And considering how many I failed to mention that we picked up last episode, due to whatever I was talking about, something not important. I really just like that spinning axe thing. I'm surprised it doesn't hurt Harry. But yeah, we actually have every Folio Universitas card. By the way, a little trivia fact is that one of the giant cards that we just picked up, I'm pretty sure, is the giant from the Tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. And I think the card, if you check its description, actually mentions that. The main benefit of collecting those Folio Universitas cards is that certain sets, when you complete them, not only will they give you more HP, because some of them give you HP, but others just give you more house points. So if you're looking to win the House Cup, collecting those card sets is also a very good way of going about doing that. I don't know who that was, Crabbe or Goyle I'm assuming, but he looked stoned out of his mind. He probably just got, like, really high and then wandered out of Hogwarts and suddenly just got lost around the Shrieking Shack. Anyhow, as you saw earlier, this is where you can find fairies. But, of course, it's going to be more dangerous than it appears, since Slytherin's about, so I'm equipping Flipendo and Expelliarmus on the entire party, because I'm pretty sure they can only use the spells that you equip to them, so I'm just getting them ready for a fight. This is the only chance you get to visit this area. There's no actual, like, cards for you to pick up anymore, obviously, since we got them all. And it wouldn't make sense for there to be, because since you can only go here once, you really would not be able to get them any other way. We're also going to fight a really weird battle here.
Don't you lot know that it's not safe out here? What with Dementors, Sirius Black, and us? You could really get hurt.
This fight is either really easy or surprisingly difficult. In my case, it's going to be really easy, because what I've decided to do is just approach them from the side and go around the back, which is honestly the most effective way of handling them. Although they only showed Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle, there's more like 5 or 6 people on Slytherin's side. Like, there's some kids that, confusingly enough, one of them looks kind of like Ron, so you just kind of have to attack him. So weird.
Let's get the fairies now and get back to Hogwarts as quickly as we can. The Dementors will be patrolling Hogsmeade soon, and it's not safe to hang around the Shrieking Shack.
Yeah, the first time I did that fight, it honestly made me heal a lot because we all got hurt so much, and it took a lot longer. In this case, I think it might have actually been the quickest fight against Malfoy, which is really odd considering it should have easily been the hardest. Wow, what a confusing way of phrasing that. Speaking of things that are confusing, this part was needlessly stupid because it turns out all I really had to do was just hold down Reparo longer on that statue than I did, which is very strange. I mean, this is the only statue that works quite that way. The deal with it is that there's fairies hiding inside that bush there, that's why it's rustling. And obviously we came here because we needed the fairies for the potion ingredients. Wow, that sounds really nasty. Yeah, we're just mincing up fairies and using them as potions, but that's pretty much what we're doing. It's like a much more cruel version of what Zelda does, where usually you just bottle a fairy and then set it free, and then it heals you. As thanks? I always thought that they healed you as thanks for letting them free, which is kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Also, there's a lot of treasure chests around here that give you chocolate frogs. But the deal with the thing over here is that you got to get that Draconiphore statue to breathe fire on the bush in order to scare out the fairies, but the Draconiphore statue just doesn't work because it's worn down. It's been, like, really not used over the years. Anyway, I finally got it fixed to the point where I can probably hit it with Draconiphores and it will react by spewing fire into that bush at long last, setting fire to it, and letting out the fairies for us to get. Now, it's really easy for me to forget, and I did forget all about this the first time that I was playing this game, like how annoying fairies are, actually, in the long run of things. You only fight them here, but I'd say they're definitely worse than pixies. They just attack you more frequently. They're really nasty, and they're harder to hit, and it seems like Ron and Harry, like, hardly help at all. The reason I'm going after them with Hermione is that it seems, and I might be wrong about this, but the tactic that I've developed is knocking them down Flipendo, and then hitting with Glacius to collect them. I always assumed that you had to use Glacius on them because of the little smoke that was coming out, like they were, like, really heated up or something, so you had to cool them down to catch them. That was my guess. That might not be how it works at all, though.
Hermione, sometimes you really scare me with how seriously you take your homework assignments. Harry!
Ron! Hermione! Break down that fence! I'll try and keep them away!
And on the same night that we got Expecto Patronum, we've got yet another Dementor encounter. I have a feeling that because there was only 4 nights in this game, they originally planned for this to be the thing that happened on the next night, but due to time constraints or whatever, they just jam-packed it into the same night. So yeah, the same night that we fought one Boggart, and learned Expecto Patronum, now we have to fight a whole host of Dementors and use Expecto Patronum to scare them away. Fortunately, their AI is really stupid. That's the one good thing that I've noticed. I've just got a lot of luck with Dementor AI in this game. Sometimes they can be pretty ruthless, so don't count on them being stupid, but in my case, most of the time it tends to go fairly well. I didn't explain the way Expecto Patronum worked in episode 14 when I was using it against that Boggart. It's pretty simple. You just press the button once and then guide it with a control stick. It's even telling you right there, use the control stick to steer the Patronus into the Dementor. It's really kind of funny that it tells you this, considering you should pretty much be used to the basic function of the spell by now, and if you aren't, like... I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. As soon as you cast a spell, that's really all you can do with it, is use the control stick to move the ball of light around. It's nothing really special. I do like how it looks. It is sort of bootleg, though. If anything, I feel like they could have made Expecto Patronum work more like Expelliarmus did in Chamber of Secrets. Maybe not in form, maybe not in function, but the way that it looked was more similar to the way that Expecto Patronum was cast in the movie. And in the movie, if you remember, Expecto Patronum works kind of like a shield. Lupin describes it as a shield between you and the Dementor, but in this it's more like your energy ball that you cast out and knock the Dementor back with it instead. It's just not the same. It's sort of neat, though. It's a cool graphical effect. Not too bad for the GameCube, I suppose. Like, there are some graphics in this game that I'm prepared to say are rather nice looking. Not any of the trees or bushes, because those are like Ocarina of Time quality. But some are like the indoors architecture and the way the castle is designed. I occasionally am impressed by things like that. I mean, it doesn't take too much in the way of graphics to, like, really impress me, because personally, there are still some things I find graphically impressive about Ocarina of Time. And yeah, we have a weird cutscene here where we, like, slide away from these Dementors like some kind of weird Christmas VeggieTales special. Which abruptly ends. They literally have jack shit to say about that entire experience. The only thing that matters now is sneaking past the new person patrolling this hallway, Professor Snape. And the weird thing about that is that you can sneak past... They intend for you to go, like, around where we got the Draconiphorus tapestry earlier in this episode, but you can just run past Snape, and he is literally so stupid that he won't turn around to catch you. It's just, like, pathetic, this, like, prefect AI that they have for this game. It's just... It's a little insulting, actually, to think that they would want you to run that way around Snape, that way you didn't get caught. No, you could just walk behind his back and he's too dumb to turn around. Like, the obstacle they put specifically to prevent you from going that way is simpler and more quick to just walk past it because he's so stupid that he can't turn around. Oh my god, yeah, the prefects are just ridiculous. I mean, you can be standing literally right next to them and they will... Like, this one especially, he always... Like, he randomly turns to the side when he's in the middle of the hallway. But he never, ever catches you. It's just infuriating. I never thought I'd be angry that it's so easy to sneak past to them, but it's kind of getting to that point. Thankful that we're not going to have too many more stealth segments, except for something really weird that's coming up. This is all new stealth segment coming up right now.
Out late tonight, aren't we? They've put those security trolls on the 7th floor, you know. It's a bit late if you ask me, since Sirius Black's already been in your dormitory tonight.
What?
Made a terrible mess of your bed, Mr. Measley. Pity you weren't in it.
You gotta love how his character model, like, just doesn't change at all. It just ascends, like, quickly. It's underratedly hilarious. Also, the thing about Peeves is that apparently he's a poltergeist and not a ghost in this series. Apparently a poltergeist is something completely different from a ghost in Harry Potter. It's not a ghost at all. Poltergeists aren't people that have died and came back as ghosts. They're just like spirits of some other form that were always spirits. Apparently Peeves is a spirit of chaos. So these are the special guards we gotta sneak past here. The security trolls. You don't actually fight them at all. So I was really disappointed when I saw in the Folio Bruti that they were just alluding to these guards. You just throw a dung bomb and they'll kind of like wander over to it and ignore you completely. And as long as you're not in their line of sight and they've got like a dung bomb to sniff on, you won't get caught by them. It's as simple as that. So just make sure you're not in their line of sight, first and foremost, then just put the dung bomb, and while they're walking to it, they'll just pretty much ignore you. They're very easy to sneak past. And that's what they have the North Wing for, honestly. If you're ever wondering the purpose of the North Wing, it's for this weird stealth segment. Also, I'm not sure if you can sneak behind the trolls just outright, but because I didn't want to try more than once, I just threw the dung bomb anyway. And although you can only carry a maximum of 5, there's only 4 security trolls, so really you shouldn't need more than 5 to get through this challenge. And I'm just replenishing the ones that I lost here, at least as many as I can pick up. That'll do for now. The fact that we got some dung bombs back is better than having none. And now we have a cutscene with the truly lovable Neville Longbottom. Enjoy.
Oh, just please let me in.
Neville? What's wrong?
I lost my list of passwords and Sirius Black must have found it. And Sir Cadogan just let him in. Professor McGonagall is so furious with me that she's forbidden anyone to give me the password into the tower.
Hang on. Fortuna Major. My pleasure.
The fat lady looks especially weird in this cutscene, not to mention the fact that she moves to the side instead of down, which she never does. Also, Neville is just so whiny in this game.
What a night. I'm sorry. I just want to turn in.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can understand how an encounter with Neville would be the thing that takes it out of you. Not the Dementors, not Malfoy, or having to sneak past Snape or anything like that. Although, sneaking is honestly a generous term to describe our encounter with that idiot. But that's all we're going to do for tonight. Until next episode... Also, for a second I thought that guy looked like Ron, so I went over to talk to him, but it wasn't Ron. Bottom line is, mischief managed.